Alright, what's up guys? In this video we're going to look at how to properly use a skill saw to get the job done as quickly as possible. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so I'm going to be going over a battery-powered skill saw because these are probably going to be the most common types. So let's look at the main components of this saw. First of all, you've got your blade guard. So all this does is this basically rotates down after you're done cutting a piece of wood to protect anything around the blade from getting cut. That's real simple. So as you push into the wood, this is going to go up, and then as soon as you pick the saw up, it goes back into place. Over here, you've got your battery pack. So most battery-powered saws are going to have some kind of a battery pack on here. So this one's real nice because you can check the power level. To pull the battery off, you pull it off, and it just slides and clicks right into place. Up here on the front, you've got basically the second hand guard. I almost never use this. Basically, this is to put another hand on to steady it while you're cutting through the wood. And then up here on the top of the handle, you've got the guard, and then you've got the trigger. So basically, if you pull the trigger without pulling the guard down, it's not going to engage. This is a safety. All this does is make sure that when you're carrying the saw around, you don't actually squeeze the blade and cut something. So in order to engage the blade, all you're going to do is push down on the safety, pull in on the trigger, and the blade engages. It's that simple. So what do we have on the front here? Well, this is actually, this allows you to set the degree to which the angle of your blade is cutting. So to loosen this, you simply push down, and that allows basically the flat part of your saw to rotate. And then on the side here, it's got a little diagram. So this notch here is going to show you what degree you're going to cut it at. Most of the time, you're just simply going to be cutting it at 0 degrees. That's going to be your flat, your normal flat cuts. But if you're doing more skilled work and you need to cut it at an angle, you can adjust this to anywhere up to, apparently on this one, 56 degrees. Then you lock it into place by rotating that lever up. Now when you cut, your saw is going to be cutting at an angle. So I'm just going to set this back to 0 because I don't need it to be at an angle. So I'm just going to do standard cuts here. And now you're good to go. All right, so that is pretty much it. That's pretty much what you need to know about a standard skill saw. So now let's see how to actually cut a piece of wood so that you're cutting it to the degree you want. And let's do it. All right, so using the notches on the skill saw blade is very important. So what do I mean by this? Well, here's the deal. The blade of the saw is going to eat about 1/8 of an inch of wood. What that means is that wood is going to be turned into sawdust and isn't going to exist anymore. So if you're trying to do an exact cut, like you're doing cabinetry or something like that, you need an exact cut. What you're going to want to do is make sure that your blade ends up on the right side of your line. So what I mean by that is, for example, if I need exactly 8 feet on this side of the line, I'm going to need to make sure that my blade ends up on this side of the line because that will give me an exact 8-foot cut. However, if I put the blade on this side of the line and I cut it, well, what that's going to do is that's going to give me a 7-foot and 7/8 inch piece of wood, and it's going to be too short. So how do you do that? Okay, so here I've got my line, and here I've got my saw. So you can see here, if I put the notch, the line in the direct center of the notch, what that's going to do is that's going to have the saw blade eat the line, and it's going to give you almost a perfect cut, but not quite exactly perfect. If you need exactly 8 feet on this side, you're going to line up the edge of the notch with the line, put it down the center, and so there won't even be anything in the center of this notch. This notch, the line, will be lined up with the exact side of the notch, if that makes sense. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Now, let's do an example here. So first, I'm going to put the blade in the exact center of the line. So you can see that's eating the exact center of the line. All right, now, if I put the notch on the right side of the line, what it's going to do is cut a little bit to the left. So it's kind of hard for you to see, but the line goes down the center here, and the blade actually cuts on the left side of the line, which means that this side will be exactly perfect. On this one, there's a tiny bit that's going to be eaten by the saw blade, and that's how that works. All right, guys, well, those are the real simple basics on how to use a skill saw properly. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and got something out of it. Do me a huge favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, check out my Instagram and my other videos. I'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned.